this tape, put it on there, put it in the player, hit record, got the other tape in there. Sound clear, just like that same tape, the original tape.
And people don't know that's how we used to record off of a tape that was already out from the store. You could be Barbra Streisand.
Yeah.
You gonna pop that little part off the top and like you say, stick that little toilet paper in there, and now you got a full cassette if you can't afford a blank tape.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Take anything, I don't care what it was.
And
I'm gonna put this on there.
But that shows how innovative we are as a people, because you know, who thought to even know how to do all that? You know what I'm saying? And we figured it out to know that that's how we could record out the radio and then make our songs the way we made them back in the day.
You're here recently, a guy, DJ Yellow, him and Jazzy Jeff, they just threw a thing in the park downtown to honor our pioneering MCs. And Jazzy Jeff is actually the first person to ever record a rap song from Shreveport. And you know, it's a blessing to still have those brothers. Like, it's a blessing to have you here. You know, it's a blessing and an honor. Because, man, people tend to forget the pioneers. And we don't, as a people. And with me, I can kind of like give New Yorkers and New Orleans people, because New Orleans and New York kind of like have the same culture. They pass down their traditions. But, you know, in other areas, we tend not to do it. That's why they, you know, you'll hear New Yorkers gonna always talk about Fats and the real 50 Cents, and they're gonna talk about their old school, their heritages. That's why they're gonna always, you know, New Yorkers gonna always, man, give Queens their honor, because Run DMC. Curtis Blow, you know, they're gonna always go back. And, you know, in New Orleans, they give it up to the people that they supposed to. So they pass down tradition, so the young dudes gonna know DJ Jimmy, Jubilee. They're gonna know all them people, but when we come to Shreveport and stuff, we don't know Jazzy Jeff. We don't know Organized Rhyme. We don't know Doc Cooley. We don't pass it.
But you know what? That's our job as being they say the OGs, the elder statesmen. We got to do that, because a lot of times we a product of our environment. And you can take that all the way back. We can go into a bigger scale when you just look at Black history, period. It's always been things in place to suppress our history. You know, white folks have been like, nah, we're not gonna teach y'all this. We're gonna give y'all the history that we want y'all to have, and y'all take that, and a lot of times it's watered down. So once we learn it, we got to take responsibility to say, okay, now we're gonna teach you about Martin Luther King, that's cool, but we're gonna also teach you about who Nat Turner was. We're gonna also teach you about the revolutionaries, a part of our history. So rap is the same way. When you look at how rap is, a lot of the not just the younger generation, but rap fans, they only gonna know you if you was on the radio. Like, you know, I've been an independent artist all my life, but I'm that dude that this guy might know, but his partner that he hang with never heard of.
Ain't never heard of him.
So somebody say, well, what you saying? Because they think about the radio. So you have to explain to it, now you're not gonna really know none of my songs if you thinking about radio. So we got to educate each other to say, well, nah, man, let me tell you, just like you was breaking down the history and in the order. You know, Houston has like 2 hip hop archives, one at University of Houston, one at Rice University. It's like museums where they archive that history, and they have that stuff documented, so people can come in and get a comprehensive knowledge of, hey man, this how it started. Shreveport should have the same thing. Every city should have the same thing, to where when these youngsters come up, in my opinion, to be honest with y'all, I feel like it should be like mandatory. You know, like you can't be a doctor unless you go through a certain courses as training, a lawyer, etc. Man, I think, man, you come into this game, it should be mandatory that you learn the history of your city and the history of rap on the whole, man. Then you can put out a record. But that ain't gonna happen, but that's just how I look at it.
That's a beautiful thought. That's a beautiful, it's like J. Cole saying in the song, and he's telling you about, you can't talk about a dude after he get killed. If you ain't did nothing for him, if you don't honor him while you're living, don't say nothing after he's gone. And that's a good thing to say.
Yeah, no.
So getting into the business aspect of it, your daddy was a promoter, right?
Well, you know what? He wasn't even a promoter. He was just a hustler. He was he was just a guy that liked to make money. So he shot dice, shot pool, played poker, gambled, might have dabbled in some other stuff. But when I was young, when I first started wanting to do music, he was the one I went to and said, man, I want to make a rap record. Yeah. And he had never heard me rap before. He was just like, all right, we're going to do it. So he just started putting the money up. We didn't know what we was doing. We going to studios, wasting money, wasting time, making trash songs, and he just kept paying it out. But somebody got in his ear and was like, hey man, you can make some money promoting shows and doing stuff like that. And he brought the Fat Boys, Salt and Pepper, and some other groups to Shreveport in '87 when I was still in high school. And we all loaded up in the van and came out and came to the show. And it was funny because Winn was remembering said he was at the show. Yeah. And that messed my head up because you know.
I remember that, but I didn't go to that show.
I was there, baby.
Yeah. And for him to be the one to bring what y'all could tell me if I'm wrong, probably the first big hip hop show to the city at that time, man. That was a historic thing that I don't even think he really think about or know. You know, when you look at it like that. So it was dope for me because all these artists, that's who we was looking up to at the time. Like, man, Fat Boy, Run DMC, Salt and Pepper, whoever it was, we like.
As a matter of fact, Run DMC was at that show. Yeah, they was on that show.
See, man, so that and for us, man, 14, 15, 16, 17, that's like iconic, man. You know, you still like, man, because these were the only artists that was out
on the radio.
It wasn't no, it was barely a West Coast. Definitely wasn't no down south. No. You know, wasn't no Midwest in terms of a hip hop scene. It was them. We looked up to them. So to be that close to them and be a part of the event that got put together and just funny full circle was right here in the city, man. That's great. Yeah. That's the first thing I thought about.
Yeah. So what advice would you give? Like me, I didn't know nothing. Like you just said, y'all didn't know what y'all were doing. Just jumped in it. I was the same way. I was just a hustler. Just wanted to see my people with the music, do the music, you know what I'm saying? Right. I just jumped in this game. I didn't know nothing about nothing, no business, no nothing. I just put the money behind it and let's get it.
Yeah.
So what type of advice would you give the new upcoming artists
I'm telling what
that's trying to create their business?
You born with the talent. God gave you the talent. Learn the business because we can go from the beginning of music in terms of black artists. You can go all the way back to Lead Belly, all the way up Big Mama Thornton, all the way up into R&B, rap, and you can't count how many black artists have died broke because somebody else took all of their money, took all of the resources, and they just told them, man, you just get out there and be the talent, you get out there and perform, because we didn't know nothing about publishing. We didn't know how to read a contract or to get somebody that could show us what the contract meant. So in that realm, from James Brown all the way across, so many of us have had to just tour. You 75, 80 years old still trying to do shows because some bloodsucker took your money and now they feed their family for generations and generations off having no talent. And they exploited us. So I tell young people all the time, man, take some time to learn the business because the smallest little thing, we apply ourselves to so much other stuff. The smallest little thing you pick up, just learning publishing can save you because you never know what song you perform on that could turn into that big record. And like my homie Young Star in Houston, I use him as an example. The song "Wanna Be a Baller," and that song went platinum. And he told me a story of how he was riding with somebody else and they just went by the studio. And he said, man, I'm gonna wait in the car. And he said that they found out he was outside the car. I said, man, tell Young to come on in. And he just went in there and freestyled his verse and the song ended up going platinum, being a big record, but he didn't have his paperwork in place. He didn't know, he just going in there doing it. But you can't never take for granted. What I tell the artists too, don't ever feel like, oh, this just some song I did.
Yeah.
I went and did a little song. Man, you don't know what song gonna be the
For
song.
real.
So have all your ducks lined up, because it could land on a commercial, it could land in a movie, it could land on the radio just off of a feature. And that stuff feeds you forever, bro.
For real.
It feeds you forever, man, if you know how to do it.
Well, I'm in the process trying to find me a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those same type of guys, like Youngster.
Yeah.
With Ratchet, do the Ratchet,
Man.
featuring Lil Boosie.
Man, come on, man.
But
Classic.
I got knocked off my game, went to prison with a life sentence, so that knocked me off.
Yeah.
But I did learn about the publishing, the writers, and all that. All this was great.
Yeah.
But with the company, I guess Trill Entertainment, it ain't so much a boost, it's more of Trill Entertainment. It's like a 60-40 split. We never recruit nothing.
Right.
So they still owe. And I want that money.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
You owe.
The game.
And I have the paperwork for that.
The game is, I like to use the term, is predatory.
Yeah.
And a lot of times these label owners, man, they know that we come in not knowing everything. You can look at how they word the paperwork.
Yeah.
Have you ever read a record label contract before? And you look at how they word, like, why y'all gotta word it like this? Why can't we simplify the terminology so we
put
can
it in
have
big
put it in
words.
understanding to where we can know what it means? And because you got to go, it's like deciphering another language when you look at a record contract.
This paragraph saying the same thing the other paragraph
It look
saying.
like you read
It's just different.
like thus saith, thou shalt. It's like that's what it look like on the contract.
For
but
real.
they do that intentionally because they know that we so happy just to get a deal. Everything back in the days was get a deal, get a deal. But it ain't about it. It ain't about a deal.
that deal.
It's what kind of deal that you getting. You know, anybody can say this or that, but what's your setup? And like you said, you knew yours 60-40, but if something happens where you don't even get the 40,
yeah.
you like, come on, man.
For real.
Yeah, so we have to have people in place, whether it be managers, whether it be attorneys, that's looking out for your best interest. Because they got labels that will tell you, yeah, well, don't worry about that. We got in-house attorneys. Okay, that's like
why they
a
cutting your
lawyer.
throat? Yep.
You work
selling you out.
Them. Yeah. So
selling
you
out.
have to come in with all that in place, and it's hard to relay that to a 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old artist who young. They're not even thinking about that. They want to be on stage. They want to be in the studio. But as time go on, and now you 31, now you 35, and you've seen all the success that your work has generated, but the money ain't reflecting that.
For real.
You know, that's a painful
I'm
feeling,
one of
man.
those
We
guys.
we've all been through it, man.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
one of
painful
those
feeling because a lot of time the reality is it's really hard to get that back.
Yeah.
So you try to take the knowledge that you gain through your losses and try to start fresh. From there, but the game may be different now.
The game
so
different.
We have the job to tell these young people, listen, man, listen, man, I know you want to rap.
Yeah.
Learn the game, because the same.
Hit 'em again.
Yeah, hit them again.
I'm telling you.
Because somebody bought their mother a home off your work. Somebody put their children through college off your work. And but you got to tell your son, well, nah, we can't get these shoes. We got to get these lesser ones. Nah, man, we can't.
For real.
We can't.
Everybody eating stuff.
Everybody eats. And
My
that's
plate empty over here.
That's the nature.
You know,
that's the nature.
Scrapes and crumbs over here.
Everybody eats except and if the artist does eat, he's the last one to eat. And he eating the scrap. He trying to get gristle out the bone. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So like Baby Savage, he's an anomaly in my opinion, because he's a guy who he focuses on the artist.
Yeah.
He wants to make his money, but he's looking like, how can I get this guy up? You know, but the problem with a Baby Savage, he's a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
He's a one in a million.
And I've been knowing Baby Savage for a long time.
Yeah, you're not gonna find too many of those.
For real.
The thing is, we have
never
to
gave
learn
up.
and become that. You know, in all our work, we got to become what we want to be. And what happens with a lot of black people in music, we'll look at the example that the white label owner or the Jewish label owner did, and we follow that example, so we become that to our own people. So we're not gonna trade in a white slave master for a black one. We got to deal fair with each other. Yeah.
And it's hard to do.
Yeah, it really ain't hard.
It ain't hard to do, but it's hard for them to do it because they too busy trying to scheme and cut your throat.
And money come in, man. Money change the whole dynamic of a person's thinking if they character not lined up. So like you said, 60-40. Okay, you said, okay, man, I'm willing to accept the 40 because that's right under 50. That's fair because on paper that's a good deal in the music business because everything else is 98.2.
For real.
95.5. So, but
come on, that 40%.
They so greedy.
I ain't
if
playing.
You accept the 5 off the 95, they don't want to give you the 5.
No, they don't want to give you nothing.
They want to give you nothing. You know,
they want to take everything.
So that's what we face with, man. So we got to learn as much as the more you learn, the more you free yourself.
For real.
In music, in the business, in any business, but in music, the more you know, because the second that somebody comes to you and you got a full head of knowledge and understanding of this thing, if they say the wrong thing to you, your reply is gonna instantly make them know, well, I can't pull that on them. You know,
not no more.
I was dealing with this cat years ago, and when I first dealt with him, I was young. I was 18 years old, and I didn't really know a lot. So he would just everything GP, no paperwork. Years later, he wanted to get down. I'm in my 30s now.
Yeah, no.
And first thing I mentioned is, okay, well, let's draw something up. Let's get the people together.
He don't want to do that.
He ain't want no parts of it no more.
You playing games.
Because now I know.
Yeah,
because I got
you
knowledge.
Playing game.
Yeah.
You gonna make me crack your head
Yeah.
to the fat meat.
Yeah, come on now.
Playing me like I'm square or something.
Now, people
let you got away.
If somebody is setting out to deceive you, they gonna fear you if you got knowledge.
Yeah.
They gonna back away.
Yeah.
They gonna back away.
Because what you ran 10, 15 years ago, you can't run it no more.
You can't put that on me right now. I'll be a fool. I'll be the dummy.
I'm smarter now.
Yeah.
So that game there is over with.
Yeah.
You got to run it on somebody younger now.
Yeah. And our goal is to try to intercept that so the young artists
For
don't
real.
even get caught up in that. And the good thing about the young artists, and that's another thing with this division between the older rappers and the younger rappers, we got to bridge that gap too, because a lot of these youngsters, man, they are so creative and innovative in how they work social media and how they do their thing, man. And some of them are becoming rich at 16, 17 years old. They saving the family. Yeah. They becoming that generational wealth in their own family because they know how to work social media and know how to do things that generate revenue, and mom and daddy working a 9 to 5.
For real.
So we have to merge with the young people and give them the wisdom we got as artists, and then they give and we got to humble ourselves to take the wisdom that they got. And now we can be, a fortress, man. But we can't be in that, man. They young dudes don't know nothing, and they like it.
They know a lot.
Old heads don't know. Yeah, we both know something.
Both know something.
We both know something.
I get something from you, you get something from me.
And we both don't know stuff.
For real.
We don't know it all because we come from a different time.
More than know it all, I don't need to be around them.
No.
If you don't know nothing.
The wisest man is the one that know that he don't know it all.
For real.
It's like you surround yourself with people that know. You surround yourself with people that know. That makes you a wise man or wise woman. That's how you do that. And not be too prideful. Hey, I don't know. Yeah, I need you to show me how to do that.
And can know it, but don't want to show you.
Yeah, well, you remove those.
Yeah, get on, man.
Yeah, looking at today's hip hop climate, what defines success?
Man, that's a beautiful question. Success is number one, anything that makes you happy. If you have happiness in what you're doing, you are successful. But on a more tangible note, if what you do sustains you and your family, then you're successful. Now, people could talk about levels. People look at, okay, with Jay-Z, he's successful. Okay, that's obvious. But it may be an independent artist who is only known regionally. Yeah. Not everybody know, but in this region, they know him. He sell a lot of music, he make money, he get shows, he don't work for nobody. He's successful.
Yeah.
Or she's successful.
Yeah.
But so they look at the money and how much, but I look at the freedom too, because you got a lot of artists that are signed to labels, and you see them on TV and all this different these different
Can't do
avenues,
what they wanna do.
but they can't do what they want to do.
Can't do what they want to
They
do.
can't even say what they want to say on the record, because you make a record, you turn it into that label, the label listens to it, and the label goes,
Nah, we don't want that.
Take that one off. Okay,
Something
we like
else.
that one. No, you got to change that line. No, that's going to be offensive. Take that
Yeah.
off. You know, but when you
Independent.
really independent and free,
Drop whatever you want to drop,
whenever you want, whatever you want, and then
however you want.
that's your freedom, and nobody can say, revise this, alter this, fix that. Nah, it's already fixed. It was fixed when I finished it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's success to me, bro. And being able to have people's lives transformed through your words for the better. You know, it's like, cause music is it's a gift, it's a blessing for us to do it, but it's also a responsibility.
For sure.
And we rappers. So we were just talking, joking off camera about a lot of the stuff that we used to say or said, and like that, man, please don't play that record. You know, because in our youth and in our ignorance, we'll say stuff that might have led somebody down the wrong road. But once you get older and you understand the power of words, life and death is in the power of the tongue, you know, and all these different things, you start to be careful. Because if I say one thing out of pocket, and if it sounds good enough, these youngsters gonna do it.
For real.
They gonna do it. You know, if I make a song about shooting up the block and the hook is live, they gonna start shooting up the block.
For real.
So we gotta be careful, because you don't want blood on your hands, bro. Especially the blood of your own people, you don't want that on your hands.
No, don't.
And I know I'm guilty of, we all have made songs and things like that, man. You know, South Park Coalition, we notorious,
For real.
you know, for certain types of content. But you learn, you know, and you understand, and then you try to change the scales, the balance. So in whatever you do in life, creatively, just in life in general, you want the good to outweigh the bad. That's how it's gonna be bad. But when it's all said and done, when you open my book, I don't care. That's like watching a basketball game. If I win 199, I won.
For real.
It might not have been a blowout, but I won.
I won.
Yeah.
It's about winning.
Yeah, it's about winning, man. The game of life, man.
But you can't win them all.
Now, you ain't gonna win them all.
I want to win some.
But you can win in the loss if you understand the lesson that was in the loss.
Yeah.
You know, because somebody, you're gonna take something out that loss that can help you win the next time. You know, that's why when they play a game and the team lose, what they do, they go back and watch the film. They say, okay, see this is what he did. Okay, now when he do this time, you come around and you do. That's how life got to be.
That's life.
That's it. Yeah.
How important is it for artists to own a name?
Own the name. Ask Prince. If anybody familiar with Prince's history, Prince is my favorite artist, one of the most creative, if not the most creative artist of all time. And when he came to Warner Brothers, he was 17 years old, playing every instrument. And they played the record for the executives at Warner Brothers, and they say, yeah, we like to say, who's his band? And they say, he the band.
Yeah.
Everything you hear on this record, he played it. Now, as he went deep into his contract with Warner Brothers and he started having issues with the label, when they fell out, he didn't want to work with Warner Brothers no more. But the problem was, contractually, they own his name.
Yeah.
And the funny part about it, Prince is his real birth name.
Yeah.
His name is Prince Rogers Nelson. So they took his birth name, which happened to be his stage name, and they took ownership over that. That's why you saw that picture. He had slave wrote on his face back in the days, because he understood. He was learning how the labels really operate, and that's why he changed his name to that symbol.
Yeah.
You know, because he couldn't even use his actual name no more. So your name is like your word. Sometimes that's all you got. You know, because if like you, bro, you got a classic hit. Now, what if somebody was to say, what if some label owned your name from way back in the day? You wouldn't even be able to promote yourself, to perform that hit, to make money for yourself. You'd have to be incognito, doing it a different kind of way, because you don't own your name. So to come in, all that goes back to those contracts, and when you coming in and knowing what you signed, what you giving away. Because when you sign, you're going to give away. Ice-T said it best. He said, you sign with a record label, he say, it's a pimp and a hoe.
Yep.
He say the artist gonna be the hoe. He said you just got to figure out what kind of hoe you gonna be.
Real.
You know,
And the label gonna be the pimp.
they always the pimp.
They always.
And the pimp, the house gonna always win.
For real.
You never beat the house. So you have to come in knowing that your name. One of my closest partners, he had to change the spelling of his name once he got off the label because the label owned the original spelling of the name. So all these little intricate things got a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, even your likeness. You know, if you give up too much, man, it'll be a persona, an image of yourself that they'll own that you could get in trouble for doing, and that's really you.
Yeah.
So this
Cold-blooded.
that's deep, man. These are serpents, man. These devils that run this industry,
So
man.
live.
You know, and we maneuvering and navigating in a pit of vipers and
Just
trying
to get
do
that
it-
money, trying to get that money
And we
from
trying to do it the honest way. We just trying to live and do what we do. But the best way to get the ups is to educate us to come in knowing who you dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, we come in blind, we come in green, just happy-go-lucky into the industry. I'm gonna tell a 15, 16-year-old who you dealing, man, you dealing with Satan.
Snakes.
Now, if you wanna go in there, let me equip you with what you need to be able to at least tangle with them.
Yeah.
But if you go in there blind and smiling and giggling, oh, you finna get bent over the desk. Plain and simple.
Put that meat in you.
Well,
That meat.
we coming to our first break. So when we come back, you know, we're gonna give y'all part 2 of this interesting conversation. Hopefully y'all learning something.